Maybe you can start, Ilango.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our class. Um, I'm sharing my screen. Well, good. Just a quick recap of the last week class. Last week we discussed variables. Okay, variable is a one we use to store values, and we discuss about data types, various data types like numeric data type using the integer, continuous, and string data type, and other data structures like list, sets, dictionary as well. Then we discuss about operators, various operators, arithmetic operators, logical operators, relationship operators, and all this. And input function we use to read values. You can read multiple values one at a time using split function along with the input function. But very important thing we should remember is whatever the values you are giving through the keyboard, it will be string values. So though you enter numeric value, it will be considered string. So please remember to convert it to the respective numeric type. You can use int or float or any other function to convert your string data to respective input numeric type. And we discuss about the print statement. Of course, the print statement is very simple form. In case if you use f along with your print statement, that will give you the beautiful result on the screen. That's formatted output. Then f string, it's another input function we use for input. All good. So now we move on to the control structure. So control structure and loop statements are very basic fundamental statements we study in any programming language. So let's move on to if statement. The if statement we use to take decision. In the sense, if you want to compare two values or compare many values, you can use if statement. You can use single if or multiple if statements in your program. All good. Loop statements we use to repeat certain operations, and we write functions, usable, reusable code, which you can call anytime in your main program, main body of your program, to repeat that operation. So it's called a function. So we do all these things today. Let's move on to if statement first. So if is a control statement. When you want to compare or when you want to take a decision based on a condition, you go for if statement. You look at the screen over there in example, sales equal to something, target equal to something. Now you want to compare sales and target to take a decision whether to achieve, whether to inform achieved or not achieved. So what you are doing, you are just assigning the values. Maybe what we do is the same program we run in PyCharm now with the input. Okay, what we do is we just use input function now. We use sales equal to input of enter sales value. So what we do is we just convert it to integer now. We convert it to integer. Okay, enter sales, or if you want to be in want to keep it in float, it's up to you. Okay, next we take target. It's float of int of enter your target. So now the two values over there, we want to compare whether sales is greater than or equal to target. So you want to print achieved, the string information to the reader or the user achieved when this condition is true. When the condition is not true, you want to say below target. So this is the task you have now. So let me first try with one option now. So I run it. When it asks the sales value, I type some value. And when it asks the target value, I type some value. So it shows achieved. because my sales is 1000, whereas the target is only 800. So it means I have achieved it. But when I try the same thing with the different data, maybe target sales is 1000, but target is 2000. It says nothing. It says nothing because I have not included the alternate option over there in my program. So that's the thing. So when you want to say, if you want to check whether it is less than or equal to target, you may write the program like this. You can write sales equal to less than or equal to target. Then you print not achieved. Not achieved. So now the case is different. What I do is I give 1000 and the target value 2000. Now it will say not achieved. So I have to create program like this. I have to mention what to do when the condition is correct, what to do when the condition is wrong. So I have to write like this. So in order to write this one, you have to write the condition here. So after if statement, leave a space, write a condition, then put colon. Very important thing is put colon over there. I told it is a slightly different from other language. In case of C or C plus language, we write the condition within bracket. But here we don't write it within the bracket. And also we use colon after the statement, after the line. Okay, then you have to leave some spaces here. So in order to make a loop, in order to make a block, so you have to leave some spaces, indent. You need some indentation over there. Then you write anything what you want to say. All right. So maybe if you want to print the sales and target value as well, you can write like this. So what will happen in case of condition true like this? Okay, it will print two lines, achieved and 1800 both. So that means you can write any number of statements after the condition is checked. Right. In case of false, when you want to check with the when you want to do some action against the alternative, you have to write like this, either like this, or what you can do is you can write else statement. So what else means when this condition is not true, the what you have written after else will be executed. So you put else, then colon, then you write whatever you want to say. So this program is the complete program which compares sales with the target and takes action according to the values. Okay, got it? Is there any doubt?
I have only one question regarding the float and integer which you give right in front of the value which we get input. So in case if it is still without anything, like it will become a string, correct? So if it is string, so what will happen? What is it go? Is something will go back bad actually the results?
Yeah, you cannot right. Your question is right. So what we do is we avoid this one. So it will not be considered numeric. So what is happening here, the comparison of two strings. Okay, so it means it will compare alphabets. You
Okay.
remember?
Words
So
to words. Okay.
yes. So let us try here 1000. Okay, not okay, 1000. Correct. This one I put 800. Okay. Now see
Mm.
below target. In fact, your sales is higher, but it says below target. You know why? Because the target value starts with the 8. The sales value starts at 1. It compares the character.
Characters. Okay.
That's not correct.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So please, later you can use this practice question. Okay. Now, I explained you already the indentation. Indentation is very much important. After whatever the condition you have written, please use the indentation. In case if you do not leave the space, it will be an error. So, okay, it's there. All right. Then use if statement when action should happen only when condition is true. If you do not have alternate, then no need to use the else statement at all. That's very, very clear. When you have alternate to say something, then you go for else statement. Okay, so I explained you already that one. So let's have the structure, different statements what we have in Python. I explained you if. So if you will use when you have only one condition. You can use if else when you have two conditions. I mean two conditions, not two conditions, two options to do. Okay, so you will say what to do when it is true, what to do when it is false. All good. Suppose if you have many options, or if you have three options, you have to construct your program accordingly. So what I say here is, in case if you have if you want to check sales with different values, okay, for example, if greater than 1000, I will say yeah, okay, sales is greater than 1000. Okay, then I write else if. I write else if. So when I write else if, I will check next condition. When it is greater than 1000, it says greater than 1000. When it is not greater than, it comes to the next line. But I check here greater than 500 or not. So I say greater than 500. Then I say else my sales is less than 500, and hence target is not reached. Okay, so I remove this line, target line. Okay, so now I made a program in different way. What I want to do is I want to read a sales value from the user and wants to check whether it is greater than 500, or whether it is in the range of 500 to 1000 or greater than 1000. That is what I'm checking now. So I have three options. One is the value can be less than 500. Other one is between 500 and 1000. Another is greater than 1000. I have three options now. So I construct my program in the way I check sales greater than 1000 or not. If greater than 1000, I say sales is greater than 1000. Else if not, it comes down. When it comes down, I put another condition to check. I'm checking the second condition whether it is greater than 500 or not. When this is also false, then it comes down and goes to the last option where I say it is less than 500, so target is not reached. So look at my screen. I made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, colon. Yeah, this one. Okay. Another
Print
mistake.
statement.
Print statement. Yeah, print. Yeah.
You did not close
Closed
the
it. Closed it.
parenthesis.
Okay. Yeah, closed it. Not yet closed. Okay. Enter sales. I put 3000. I'll where the mistake. If sales is greater than 1000. Typo error. Yeah, because it is, I haven't converted. Okay, 3000 is greater than 1000. That's my result. When I give 800, it says 800 is greater than 500. Okay. When I say when I give 200, it says 200 is less than 500 and hence target is not reached. So I'm just giving an example here. So what I try to say here is you can have multiple if statement. Okay. When you have multiple options to do, you will use multiple if statements. So you can arrange them one after another. You say first option, you check first option. If first one is not okay, if it is false, you enter the second option. Okay, second condition, third condition, like that you can arrange your conditions. So the last one, last option you can write within else. So that will be the last one. In
I have
case if
one
you have,
question, sir.
yeah,
When do we decide whether to use if or a nested if when we have multiple conditions?
yes, say very simple example I can give. Um, you just consider our electricity bill. Okay, electricity bill is based on the slab value. So what we do is we just note down the reading, right? So we
Yeah.
take just a moment. I will open my tablet. Okay, say your electricity bill is calculated based on the reading. Suppose if reading is less than 50, let us take. You will say the tariff like a flat tariff. Okay, bill amount will be $50. Okay, when this range is, suppose if it is greater than or equal to 50, but less than or equal to 100. So you will consider the base value plus whatever the reading exceeding 50, you will calculate some values like maybe for per unit you may consider $0.5, something like that. So if you have this kind of arrangement, like if it is greater than, okay, not greater than, it's just less than. So you go for or greater than 100, but less than 200. So you will have something to do. So when you have the problem like this, so what I'm telling is when you have multiple options over there, then you need to use if statement. So first if statement will check whether the reading is less than 50 or not. When it is less than 50, you do something. Suppose if it is not less than 50, if it is greater than 50, then you have other things to do. But how many other things do you have? That you should note down. In case if you have two more things to do, then you put else if, one else if, and check. We know that it is greater than or equal to 50, but we can check whether it is less than or 100. So we do this calculation when it is less than 100. Even if it is not correct, then we go with the other conditions, something to do. Okay, so you have 3 blocks to do, but not all 3 blocks will be done for each input. For each input, either one will be any one of these will be executed. You get me? So that
Yeah.
if that condition, that situation, you will go for if statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have one exercises to do. I will show you. Right. Say, look at here. Create a variable called sales with this value. Create a value target with this one. So use an if statement to print target achieved only when sales is greater than or equal to target. Otherwise, change sales to 9,500 and run. sorry, not otherwise. So this one is the previous one. The one we did it already, not this one. It is an activity you have to do. Okay, let us go for another one. We take another example. Okay, this example, you can see this. So ask the user to enter a number, then ask the user to enter another number. You convert both numbers to float. Then you say first number is greater. When the first number is greater, you say first number is greater. Otherwise, you say second number is greater or equal. So this is the question. So for this one, how the program would be? So we take input, we read the first number like X. We read first number, we read second number, then we check whether the first number is greater than second number or not. When first number greater than second number, we say F colon this X is greater than Y. If not, we say X is less than or equal to. So that's the program. Very simple, because we have only two options here. Clearly they said you have to say either this or this. So what I conceived, I just made the program like this. I read two values. I check the first value with second value, and accordingly I print here.
Okay.
Yeah, else I put colon here. Oh, this one, sorry. Just a moment, I changed the prompt. So it says enter first value. I give first value 100, the second value 30. So my answer is 100 is greater than 30. I run it again. I give first value 100, but second value 200. Now it says 100 is less than or equal to 200. So this is how it completes. In case if you want to check equal to separately, then what you can do is you can put in another if. Okay, here you say else if you check less than equal to y, less than x is less than y, then you say less than y. The third option I take print equal to y, because I have three options now: greater, less than, equal to, three options. So accordingly my program will work. So when I give first value 100 and second value same 100, it will say 100 is equal to 100. When I give first value 100, second value 200, it will say 100 is less than 200. So all options complete. Okay to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a program over there. You can try these programs later.
Sir, we need write both lower and upper limits in every ELF.
You mean the value to check?
Yeah, we need to write both lower and upper.
No, I said it's all depends on the problem given to you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Say for instance, look at this exercise. It says when score is greater than 80, you are telling that greater than or equal to 80, you are telling that excellent. If not, if it is not greater than 80, it could be any number, right? So you are checking in the other one, greater than or equal to 50. So that means you decided to give excellent grade when the student gets greater than or equal to 80. when the student gets greater than or equal to 50, you say satisfactory. Okay, satisfactory.
Yeah.
So when that student gets less than 50, you will say needs improvement. So these are the things. Sometimes they may set up in the grade calculation, they will say they give excellent only when the student scores greater than 80. Even equal to 80 is not exceeding the limit. It is not excellent. So if that's the case, you will not use greater than or equal to symbol. So it all depends on the problem you are given.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let us move to the next one. It is all done already. So you know how to do it. So you need to practice all these things later after the class. And I explained you already how the nested if statement is to be written. That means if statement within another if statement. Okay. So it is all explained. Okay. Coming to the logical operator. Logical operator, we have and or not. Okay. We use and operator when you want to check two conditions and want to take decision only when both conditions are true. Okay. For example, you want to check with your customers if the customer is premium customer. Okay. For example, I'm saying, okay, category is premium customer, and their purchase amount, okay, purchase amount is greater than $1,000 or equal to $1,000. You want to give them some award or bonus or something. Okay. So you are giving bonus to the customer only when the customer satisfies both these conditions. One is the customer must be a premium customer and he must have purchased for more than $1,000. If the customer is not premium customer, new customer, even though he purchases more than $1,000, he is not eligible for bonus. Okay, I'm just giving a scenario. So if that's the case, you will write like this. If the customer category is equal to premium, okay, and you'll use the word and here. And is an operator. I already told you it's a logical operator which is going to check two different conditions. And you say P amount is greater than or equal to 1,000. So in the sense, the sum calculation will be done. This block will be executed only when these both conditions are true. Otherwise, it won't be executed. So this is what called AND operator. So we always use AND operator, OR operator, NOT operator in if statements. Okay. So this is an example. Look at this one. Ask a customer premium, regular or new. So they have three options. They have three different types of customers. And you are asking for purchase amount. You are giving 15% discount only to premium customers. So if the customer is not premium, if the customer is regular, he gets 5%. When the customer is not premium or regular, the new customer gets 0% discount. So this is a problem given to us. For this kind of problem, AND is not required because you are checking with only one variable. That is, you are checking with only the category. Suppose if they say the premium customer, when the premium customer spends greater than $1,000, you give discount 15% in the sense you will bring AND statement over there and the logical operator over there. You get me now? You want to you want me write to write you want me to write the code? You understand this?
It's fine, sir. I mean, the same example, right? So the one
Yeah,
which you
same
showed in the
example. You want me to write for and that's what I'm asking. It's same example. Yes, similar to previous one. If the purchase category customer type is equal to premium and amount equal to
above 500 or
greater than or
something like
equal
that.
to $1,000, then your calculations, you will do the calculation, discount calculation, that will be 1.5 times of the amount
1000.
divided by 100. You will write like this. You will write else if for the next one like this.
Yeah, you can do it, sir, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, I can write the whole code. Otherwise, I will move to the next slide. Yeah. Yeah, of course, we have this one without and. This one is without and. Okay. You want to see the code? See, we are taking a purchase amount and a customer type. Then we take, I think you will understand why I put here strip and title. You remember it? The one I taught you last week.
Strip is like cleaning the spaces front and back.
Yes,
Title
exactly.
is making it bold. Yeah. Means
Not
the
bold, title case.
sorry, title case. Yeah,
Title
sorry.
case. Yes, because you can see the here, after cleaning, after taking the purchase amount, they are checking amount less than 0. Less than 0 means purchase amount cannot be negative. So instead of writing like this, you can try with try statement. I told you last week itself, try statement. You can bring this one with the try, so that when the customer, when the user types some negative value, you can inform the customer to enter a positive value. The logic doesn't work when it is negative. Like that, you can create. Okay,
Sir,
so
I have
try
one
catch.
question.
Yes.
If the user enters premium in lowercase instead of premium, will the condition fail?
Okay. Here, whatever the customer enters, uppercase, lowercase, both will be converted to title case. Title case. So that's why there is no comparison for customer type. So there won't be any issue at all as long as this program is concerned. But you can if you want to check the customer type as well, better you convert it to title case and then you arrange your if statement accordingly. You get me? Let me tell you. For this program, we are working with only amount, correct? So you are taking decision or calculations only based on amount. Instead of that, what I'm telling is, if you want to check the type as well, so you will have the line like this: type equal to premium and amount is something. Amount is how much you want to compare. So you will use this. So when you want to do like this, how you are writing this string, that's the important thing. So you should have some unique, some single value over there. So when the customer types here lowercase, if your program is like this capital letter and others lowercase, that doesn't work. Okay, actually premium customer, but when the user enters, he used just lowercase letters. So it will not match with this one. So there it will go and end up with something else. So that's not correct logic. Program okay, but so logic wise it has some error. So that's the reason what we do is here itself we convert it. So if you make it to title case, then you can write like this. So whatever the customer enters, small premium or capital premium or whatever, how, doesn't matter how he enters. So everything will be converted to uniform standard value. That value you are checking here. So that will be the right code. You get me right?
Yes.
Okay. In case if you want me to repeat, I will repeat it, okay? Then, so look at the other next one. You want to compare with the 3 numbers and want to print the greatest of 3 numbers. So what you can do, the same question, you want to use another value. So here you can compare x with y and x with z, both. When both conditions okay, then you will say greatest than y and z. Else if you will check with the next one, you are checking y is greater than x and y is greater than z, then you say that y is the greatest. Okay. I just make a small correction over here. Yeah, I made it. So simple. What I'm doing is I'm checking x with a, y and z. If okay, then I print x is the greatest. When this not okay, it comes here. Now I'm checking y with x and y with z. When y is greater than x and z, I print y is the greatest. If both not okay, then ultimately we know that z is the greatest one. So I just print z is the greatest among x and y. So I just give some value here 100, another value 200, another value 50. Now it says 200 is the greatest among 100, 250. If I enter x 100, next value 50, another value 20, it will say 100. X is the greatest. 100 is greatest among 150. When I enter this one 100, this one 200, the other one 300, it will say 300 is the greatest among 100, 200, 300. So it works for all options, test cases. You get me now? So this is where our AND operator works, logical operator works. So I just share with you the code. Okay to you? Can we continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So next is for you to work after the class. You just read a year, okay, from the user. So year in the sense it should be an integer value, and you check whether it is leap year or not. So there is a logic to check for leap year. Any leap year will have it can be divided by 4 and 100. Okay. So you have to check the condition. You find out the algorithm. You find out the logic behind the leap year. So use that logic and print the result when it is leap year. If it is not leap year, you just say it is not a leap year. Okay. So you can use try except. I already told you try except function. You can use that one to handle invalid input. So this is homework you can do. All good. So now let me move to loop statement. Very important thing in coding is you need to practice more exercises. Only then you can develop your code knowledge. I mean the way you create your code, because there could be many logics for solving any exercise or any problem. Okay, the logic that you are using not necessary to be my logic. My logic can be maybe different from your logic, but which logic is the best one, working fast, that's the important thing. So when you want to be in industry, you should make a logic which consumes only less number of lines. So less number of lines occupying less memory space. At the same time, you get the answers very fast. So that is how you should write your code. So that comes only with the practice. So you have to do many exercises. Okay. Now coming to for statement or while statement, we use these two statements to make something to repeat. Something to repeat. For example, if you want to do this action, do this same thing 5 number of times, the same thing you want to use, right? So what you need to do is you have to write the same line. You have to write the same line, sorry, the same line 5 times. So you have to write like this: first time, second time, third time, like this. You have to write 5 times the code. That is completely stupidity. It's not correct. It will consume more spaces and it will take your time. So that's not a right way. Instead, what you can do is you can create a loop statement here. So you can write like this: for some variable in, you can say initial value and final value. So how many times you want to run it? You know this data. I already told you range operator. So you can use that range here, data here. So what happens here when you write like this, the whole code within this for, this whole code will be repeated 5 times. It will be repeated 5 times. You will write like this. I'm just giving an example here. Okay. Right. That's it. So you have to write for, then you should use a variable here. This variable will take value from this part. So you will use in operator here. You will take this I value, variable will take value from here. Here I say range 1 to 6. That means I give I value 1. Then I give 2 to I. Then 3 to I. 4 to I. 6 to I. When it takes 6, it stops. The loop will be stopped. So loop will not work. So that is how I arrange. I will show you the simple code so that you can understand. Print I. So what I'm doing here, I'm just printing the value of I, the loop variable. I just run it and show you the answer here. You see here, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How it comes? The loop starts with the first value and comes down, and whatever you have written within this block is executed. So you get 1 over there. Then after this block complete, it will go back and takes the second value for I. Second value printed. Then third value printed. Fourth value printed. Fifth value printed. When it goes to the last sixth value, it stops. Because it should end at 6, right? So when it counts 6, it comes out. Okay, so this is what called for loop. So most of the time in our programming logic, we use loop statement and if statement. Okay, so it's an example. So you know that a range operator, range function will give a sequence of numbers, continuous numbers. So you can specify where to start, where to end. And you can also specify how it should be incremented, the step value. So accordingly, it will work. For example, I can write like this. I can say 1 to 20, step 2. Okay. So for this case, what will happen? It starts with 1. Then after first time complete, it adds 2 to 1. That means it becomes 3. Then it goes with 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, up to 19. When it gets 21, that exceeding the end value, so it stops. So I get this alternate numbers. So this is the way you can produce odd numbers continuously, even numbers also. So if you want, you can start with 0 and put here increment 2. So you will get 0 to something like this. See here, 0, 2, 4, 6, like this, up to 18. When it goes to 20, it stops. If you say here 22, the 20 will also be printed. Get the logic? You get me? So the step value
yes,
here, step value here is a jump size. Okay, you can try this exercise later. That means you can start with the 10 and end at 1. Okay,
by
that
mistake,
means
if you
you
give
can
four
go.
values,
Sorry?
if by mistake, if you give 2, 11, 2, 2, then what will happen?
No,
2,
it is not
2, like 4
mistake. It
values.
is correct
It will.
one. Yeah,
No,
this
I'm
one
saying,
correct.
but yeah, that is correct. But if you do something wrong, like 2, 11, 2 again, if you give 2, will it throw any syntax error, something like that?
No, it is not syntax error. See here.
No, sir. This is
What do
right.
you want to say?
No, this is right. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the 2, the last 2, if you put comma again, one more 2. No,
One more.
comma.
Oh, that is syntax. That is error.
Yeah, that will throw in syntax error, right?
Yeah.
So we can
Correct.
give only 3 numbers at a point of time.
Yes,
In
that the
okay.
start value, end value, and jump value.
Jump value.
Only
Okay.
3. But jump value, say for instance, if you give some big value like 10, so it starts at 2. When it jumps to 12, it automatically ends the last value, right? So it will work only one time.
Yeah,
It
I
works
understood
only
that.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I understood that. Yeah.
Okay. So you can, yeah, Anusha.
I'm sharing some code in the chat. Can you explain this?
Yeah, sure. This one?
Okay, I tried to do a print statement with for loop, but I see the output in a different way. I was
Say hello, this one. So it will print 1 something. Okay. Then you are incrementing. Oh, that's so you are changing I value inside your loop itself. Usually
correct.
this I is the it's correct. You know, I will tell you the logic over here. Just I copy paste and explain you. Yeah.
Also,
This
is there a
logic.
way? Yeah. Also, is there a way to print this in a proper way? Like, for example, say hello 1, and then next line it came 3. So like this, say hello 2, and then next line 4. So we have slash and something we have to put to make it in the next line. Like,
no need. Backslash n, no need.
yeah.
That means the control break, you no need.
So,
That one is
okay.
in C language. We use the operator like
correct.
this. No need. Yeah. Okay. Here I tell you just very simple. You just you walk through the code, you will understand. So the I is created with 1. Okay. Then it comes down. It says say hello 1. Then you are incrementing your loop variable here. That means your I becomes 3 here itself. So after I is printed 3, it prints 3 now. So it said hello 1, then it says 3. Then it goes back because the loop, all this completes a block. So goes back. Then it takes the second value of I. Second value of I is supposed to be what? Because you already changed. It's supposed to be the next value of the, where is your code? Yeah. Your output. Where is your output? Yeah. So what is, you change the I value inside. Then when it goes back, it takes the value from the loop because this is the iteration. Where is my program? It is an iteration. So it should be 1, 2, 3 up to 8. This I should be 1, 2, 3 up to 8. Okay.
Yes.
Here, when it comes here, so first one is okay. Then you change it. That's why it says 3. Then it goes back and says 2, 4. Correct?
Yes.
This 4 actually it takes the loop value 2. It takes after 1 it takes 2. Then it prints say hello 2. Then it increments 2 plus 2. It becomes 4. That prints. Then it goes back, takes 3, say hello 3. 3 plus 2, 5. So every time what is happening here, inside the loop, you are incrementing by 2. So it is incrementing and showing there. But when it goes up, it takes the original value of I. Because this works like this. This is where how the Python works. C++ it is different. Python works like this. So see, this I takes only from the range. So range supplies the value. So when range supplies the value, it will be like this 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8. That's the reason.
So I cannot increment it within the block. Only.
No. Yes, that doesn't affect your loop.
Okay.
That doesn't affect your loop because this always the I value takes, because you are saying that I in range. So always it takes from this range.
Okay.
It's a very interesting thing. Yeah. What you did is very good. It's an interesting thing because you are using in operator. In C language, we write like this always 1. So when the initial value, step value, increment value given in the same line, if suppose if you change something, ultimately that will affect your loop variable. But here no. So that's why you are getting different result.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Noted.
Okay. Then someone asked me \n. Now I noticed why you asked that question \n, because it prints everything on the same line, right? So that's what you said, correct? You asked me
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
You have to adjust here in the block itself how to move it. Yeah, correct. What you ask is correct. Okay. Next, for loop can visit each value in list one by one. Okay. So what you can work with is, instead of using range operator, you can work with list data as well. Like suppose if I have x equal to some value 100, 200, 300, then I can say I equal to in x. Okay. Now my I gets value from the list. So first value is 100. That will be the first value for I. So 100 will be printed. Then when it goes back, it takes a second value from the list. Yeah. I get it 100, 200, 300. Okay. Get it? I can use the list variable in my for statement. Also, I'll suppose otherwise, if you don't want to use like this, This is the traditional way we do. You remember when we write the code in C language, we do like this. What we do? We take length of this variable and say range length of this one. So it will work up to the length. So sales will take 1, 2, 3 something, the index value. Then we print the monthly sales of index variable. So that gives you the actual value. So this is an alternate traditional way, but not okay in Python. Python has a very robust, very high level of coding. So no need to write the coding like this in the traditional way, just using the index variable. So you can straight away take the value from the list. Then this one is summing up all the values. So what you can do is if you want to sum up all this 100, 200, 300, you can create a dummy variable, summation variable. Then you can say here S equal to S plus I. So that accumulates the value. So then you can print the sum. So you will get the sum of all numbers, 600. So when you want to do like this, you just create a new variable, okay, assign 0 to it and use that variable inside your loop so that you can get the summations, accumulate the variable values. All right. So I just give here a practice question as well. You can try it later. Then same thing, you create a list variable, create a target value, then use the loop, calculate the sales, then finally compare target with your total value and then print accordingly. So this program will combine for statement and if statement. Okay, so this activity you can do after the class. Okay. So these are manual version of statistics. Actually, what you are doing, you are finding the total, then you are comparing your total with the target value. Sometimes you can find the mean of it and compare your mean with the target. It's okay. But this traditional way is much simpler in other libraries like NumPy. When you use NumPy, it will be faster. One thing. Second thing is better to use the function related to that one instead of just using a counter variable and adding your sales into it. You can use the functions much simpler way. Okay, the functions like you can use mean function, mode, median, standard deviation, variance, all these functions available in libraries. So either you can go for statistics library. Statistics library will provide you different statistics functions. Otherwise, you go with NumPy. NumPy is much faster than statistics. Okay, so this is how you can improve your coding. Then coming to while statement. While statement is similar to for, but in the for statement, what we do is we just take the value from the list I said. Otherwise, we use the range one. Always we use in operator. Okay, in operator is essential for statement. But while statement is similar what we use in C language. It's a traditional way of creating the loop. So what you do is you write a counter variable, okay, or you write some variable, then you can put a condition over there. The loop will be executed until the condition gets false. When it is true, the loop will be executed when it is true. The loop will be terminated when the condition doesn't meet the given value. When it is false, it comes out. So this is how it will work. Okay, the simple program is shown here. It takes 1000 to balance and checking that balance is greater than 0 or not. When it is greater than 0, it says balance amount and makes the balance equal to balance minus 250. So you are reducing the balance by 250. Then going back. So again, second balance will be printed. Then it reducing the balance by 250. So it goes back. So what is happening here? it will print 1000, 750, 500, 250. When it reaches 0, it says account empty. So that is how it will work. So it's a simple way of writing the code. Same thing, what you can do is, instead of checking the condition, you can create a variable like what you did in C language. You just create a variable like I equal to 0. Okay, while I is less than 10, print I equal to I plus 1. Simple. So what it does is it prints the value of I as long as I value is less than 10. When it reaches 10, the loop will be stopped. It takes 0, continues with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 9. When it reaches 10, it stops. It's a traditional way of creating the loop. You can use while statement for it. All right. So I just continue my slide. Next is break statement. Break statement, when you want to break your loop at some point of time, you can use break statement. It is interrupting the loop. It is interrupting the loop. Wanted, you are doing is. By wanting, you are doing that in the sense, here, look at here, the list has 4 numbers, 3, 8, 12, 5. You are taking for n in numbers. That means the n will take 3 first. But you are checking here, n reached for 12 or not. Of course not. So it will print it. Then when it goes back, it takes 8. So n is equal to 12? No. So it will print. Then goes back. It takes 12 now. When it takes 12 now, you set break. So what happens here, it will not go to 5 at all. It stops printing at when it is 12 itself, it stops printing. So you will get only 3 and 8, not all 4 values. So you are interrupting the loop, execution of the loop, by giving a condition over there, right? This is break statement. The other way, what you can do is you can skip some value. You can skip some iteration using continue statement. Here in the example on the right side, what we are doing is we skip this one. And when n equal to 12, we want to skip. That means we don't want to print at all. So this print will not be done. So it prints 3, 8. When it is 12, it stops. It goes back and takes next value 5. So it will print 3, 8, 5 only. So these are few commands you can use for changing your logic. All right. So I have few exercise here for your practice. Maybe you can try all these after the class. I put lot of exercise in the slides. Okay. Of course, you know this operator, that will give you the reminder. So when the remainder is equal to 0, when it is divided by 2, it says even number. Okay, so that's how it is working. And this exercise is for you to check and correct the code. Okay, it's a error fixing one. You try all this. And the next part is you can create a loop statement, for statement within another for statement. For example, what I do is, let me write a code here. For I in range 1 to 12, then I write another one. Okay, I print I and j. So what I'm doing is, maybe I just make it simple 5. Okay, so what I'm doing is I take 1. Okay, just a moment, I'll open up a word and explain you. So when I write like this, for I in range 0, 10. Okay, 10 I put. Okay. Next, for j in range 0 to 5, print I comma j. When I write like this, you just walk through the program. The first line takes I value 0. The second line, when it comes down, because you said it is a loop created already. So it comes here, j takes 0, first value. Then you are asking to print I and j. So it will print 0 and 0. After printing, the loop j completes. When loop j completes, the loop j continues with the next value. So loop j will take next value 1. Then comes down. So print 0 and 1. Then goes back. Then it takes 2. Prints 0 and 2. Then goes back. Takes 3. Print 0 and 3. Then goes back. Takes 5. Takes 4. 0 and 4. When it goes back and taking 5, stops. Okay, so because J loops completed. Once J loop completed, this I loop is continued with the next number. The I takes now 1. When I takes 1, the J will start fresh. It will start a new next inner loop. So J now starts with 0. So now what is happening? It prints 1 and 0. Not here itself, continuously. So 1 and 0. Then I takes 1, it prints 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Then all I complete, then it will go back and take the next value of I. Now I will become 2. So like this, I will go up to 9. So in the sense, this print statement will be executed 9 times 4. So you will get 36 values out of it. So this is what called nested loop. This kind of arrangement is called nested loop. So nested loop we use to do something with outer loop and inner loop. So this kind of arrangement we use mostly for working with matrices, because matrices will have rows and columns. So we have to consider the first row of the matrix and work with all columns. Then second row, all columns. So this kind of arrangement we do with the nested loop. All good. So for here in example, I say it's a row in range of 1, 4, the column in the range of 1, 4. So it works for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it works with the 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay. So I have some programs for you to work with. Maybe we try the first program to print multiplication table of any number. Okay. So what we do is we just take an input from the user. We take input from the user, x equal to integer of input of enter table to be printed. Okay. So I said enter table to be printed. Then I take I'm going to print the table. So how many terms I have to print? I just set up 10 terms starting with 1. So I want to print 1 to 10 terms, 10 lines. Okay. So what is my output? Every term, every line will have, suppose if it is second table, 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, like this. So I just create another variable, okay, with 1 to t, 1 to t. That means whatever the value the t has, that will be considered for j. So this j will work with this t. So when t is 1, it works for 1. When t is 2, it works for 2. Like this, it goes up to t. So I can write range of 1 comma t. 1 comma t. So it starts with 1, 2, 3 like this. Then I print print f within quotes, I print J value. That means the number I have, okay, 1 times. So I say times, then I put the table number. Sorry. I wanted to explain the nested loop, but this is not nested loop because it is just one table it is printed. Okay, what I do is I just explain you first the one table, then I will explain the nested loop. Okay, very simple way. For J in range 1 to T, 1 to X. Instead of this, I put 1 to X. J int X equal to J times X. Okay. So it will be 1 times the table. Okay, 2 times table, 3 times table, like this. Okay, perfect. So this completes one table. So I put everything correct. All right. Where the mistake? For statement, unexpected intent. Oh,
It should
here.
not have space.
Yeah. Unexpected intent. Just remove it. Then
I have
print.
started double quotes but not ended that.
Yes, correct. Enter table to be printed. I say third table prints another mistake. Another mistake is loop. This must be a variable. This must be a variable, not a string. Okay. This must be up to 10 terms, right? So I put 10. Okay, I put 10. Then I put here up to 10. So I should print J times this table equal to, okay, 10 terms. So third table 10 times. See here, I print J because J goes with 1 first, then 2, then 3, like that. It goes up to 10, right? So 1 to 9 I get 1 to 9. In case if you want to print 10 terms, you make it 11. So it will print 10 terms. So it takes any value. Okay. So always you are using the constant value here because you want to print that table, fifth table. So my J will be 1, then X will be fifth table. So J times X, that will be 5. So 2 times 5, 3 times 5, it will be 10 times 5. So this code is for printing one table, just a table. Okay. Fine. Next, what I do is I just change this one. If I want to print the tables from 1 to 10, okay, I make another loop. Okay, not this one. Take it out. So I want to print the table 1 to 10. So I make one variable for this one, I equal to 1 to 10. Then I take another loop. So I start here. I take J in range 1 to 10 because I want to print 10 terms in each table. So I print 10 tables. Each table will have 10 terms. So that's why I'm making 1 to 11, 1 to 11. So I print here what I want to print. This comes terms, right? J times this I. So in the place of X, I put I. Here as well, I. So this makes 1 to 1, 1 times 1, 2 times 1, 3 times 1, like that, 10 terms. Then 1 times 2, 2 times 2, like that, 10 terms. So that completes my code. Okay. Another mistake is J. Yeah. So it starts with 1 times 1, 2 times 1, because this is a running variable. 1, 2, 3 is running variable. That is a J variable, inner loop. This one is the outer loop, I value. So I value is constant for all inner variables, in the inner loop variable. So it takes I1, then it completes all 10 terms in I, then it goes back and takes next value for I, so 2. So it prints second table, it prints third table like this. So what I can do now, I can say here a print, an empty print. Maybe I can say here ith table. Okay, just make it more ith table. Okay, I put here in the beginning itself, so it will be nice.
You did not.
Not done. Not done. Yeah, I must be within this.
Yeah, curly braces. Yeah.
I should put F also. Okay, then okay. So first table, printing 10 terms. Second table, printing 10 terms. Third table, printing 10 terms. Fourth table, fifth table, sixth table, seventh table, eighth table, ninth table, then 10th table, it stops. So this is a way of creating the nested loop. Okay. Just to share with you. All good. So please try all these programs later at your home. Okay. Then this is another question here for home activity. It's for engineering test result. That means you can take 3 load values. You can store them in list. Okay. And you can calculate minimum of it, maximum of it, average of it. That is mean of it. And you can classify the result as stable when the maximum minus minimum is less than or equal to 5. Otherwise, you can say it's a variable values. You can say stable values or variable values. So you can store final result in dictionary and print formatted summary. So it's a kind of thing combining all the things what I taught you so far. Now, the last part of the core programming, it's a functions. I told you function is a reusable code, reusable method. So what we can do is we can define a function first. Once we define the function, we can call the function from anywhere, from our main body. That means what you do is, let me write diff. Okay. You write def. Okay. Def, give a name, any name you can give. Okay. My function. I just write my function, bracket open, bracket close. Okay. Then print my first function. Finish. So once you return like this, in the main body, you can call this main function anytime. So if you call, what is happening, the control will go to this function and it will do the things what you have written within the function. So now let me call it. You can see it prints my first Python function. How it has happened? Because it went over there, printed this line and then returned back. So if I call once again my function, so it will print the second time. 2 times my answer will be printed on the screen. So you can call, once the code is written, function is written, you can call the function any number of times. Next, when you are calling the function, you can transfer some value to the function. For example, if I transfer a 10 to the function, if I write a variable here, okay, my first Python function with the value, okay, I write here value. I just transfer now 20. So what I'm doing is I'm sending 10 to my function. So this 10 will be stored in X. And when I ask X to be printed, it will print 10. Then return back. I call again function, but I transfer 20 to the function. So now it prints my function 10, my function 20. So I get different answer now because of transferring the data from the body, main body to a function, different data. All you understand now, right? Is okay? Any doubt? So you write the function. It is a named block of code that is done or it is executed when it is called. So you write like this. You call it any number of times. So you can transfer value to the function. You can transfer any number of values, not necessary to be one value. So you can write a function name within the bracket, many variables, many values. So you can do many calculations inside your function. And you can return the number which you want to transfer to your calling part. So that is also possible. That means you can use return function to return a value, but you'll be returning only one value from function. That is the very important thing you should note down. All right. So what I'm trying to say here is, in case if I do some calculation here, okay, discount equal to X times 10 by 100. Okay. So its discount is calculated. I return D. So now if I send 1000, it will calculate 10% of 1000 and return to me. So now I can store this one in somewhere else. So I can calculate, I can store it in discount equal to my function. So discount equal to. Otherwise, if you want to make this one in a loop, that's also okay. Maybe you can call this one with a loop for I in range of 1, 2, 3. So I call this one 2 times. Discount function is written within for loop. All right. So when I use the loop statement, I can take an input as well. So I just extend the program. Okay. I take X equal to integer of input of enter a number. So I just transfer this X there. My code complete. So now what is happening here? I create a loop here to do 2 times. I take value from the reader, user. That value I transfer to my function. So my function takes this value and calculates the discount 10%, and then coming back to my calling statement. So that is stored in discount. So our next line, I just print my discount. Enter a number. I just type something. It calculates 100. But I haven't written the calculation over here. I written the calculation in my function. So 1000 is transferred to this one, and accordingly 100 is found. Then 100 is written back and stores in discount, and discount is printed accordingly. If I run it again, sorry, 2 times, right? So I just give another value. So it calculates for 2000, 200 for 2000. So I put everything together. But I would like to explain here something. Please remember, the one I'm writing here, the main function, the variable I'm writing in the main function is a global variable. The variable that I'm writing in the function is a local variable. In the sense, the X over here is different, X over here is different. Please remember it. Okay. Suppose if I try to print this, if I try to print X over here, okay, maybe for your convenience, I make it Y and Y here. Okay. It's very simple. I use different variable so that you will understand my mistake. Now everything is perfect. So it works for me. 2 times working for me, correct? But if I try to print X here, you may think that the value Y over here is transferred to X. So both will address the same location, same value. If you think like that, you see the result. Error. Because this X is not understandable. This X is completely for function. It is not for the main program. So it doesn't work. But if you try to print Y in function, it will work. Because the one you are writing here, whatever the variable you are writing here are global variables. So that if you print Y value in function, it will work. So this is important thing you should note down. Okay. So any doubt? Okay to you? So I just use here try and accept to validate my input. Okay. So please try these things after the class. Okay. So I explained you already the global variable and now coming to the built-in functions, I told you already there are plenty of built-in functions written in library. So you have to use you have to call the respective library first to use the functions. But these functions are very common functions. Len, sum, maximum, minimum are common functions in Python library. And you can call import statistics library and can use the functions in the statistics. So just go and read the help, you will understand. Okay, this is another exercise I passed to you for practice. It uses if statement. Okay, I mean if with the logical operator. Okay, and it's a small program project. Okay, for calculating overtime payroll. Okay, it's a logic over there. You can try this logic as well. So this slide showing you the errors. Okay, usually we miss out colon because we are not used to colon. Usually in other languages we don't use colon. Okay, so it's a common error we do. And indentation, we don't leave some spaces. So you will forget to leave some spaces when you are creating a block. And if we used to do this mistake, double equal to, we check with single equal to, that could be another error. And sometimes you will set up your loop with infinite condition in the sense your condition will never go end. That is another error. Okay, so these are few mistakes we usually do. With this one, I complete the basic things what you should know to create programs, Python codings. So I finish if, else if, else statement, for statement, while statement, break and continue, and functions. Okay. Now you know the basics things. Once you practice the programs, you'll be able to write the code for any logic. But all this with the traditional Python coding. But in order to make more easy, more fast, okay, work with arrays particularly, you can go for NumPy. So NumPy makes you to create or manipulate arrays. And pandas is very good library we can use to do exploratory data analysis. So these are two different things I should teach you. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So with this one, the current week is complete. So next week we start with NumPy. So after NumPy, we move to Pandas. So Pandas is very important thing where you will be using CSV file and database files, okay, or XLS file. So I will teach you how to retrieve or how to load the Excel file and use the variables, okay, all columns, okay, make it in the array and do some manipulations. So we and also Matplotlib library, I will teach you to visualize the data. Okay, then finally you will do a small project with all these things. All good. I stop here. See you next week if you don't have any question to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. See you next week. Bye.
Yes, see you. Bye bye. Anuja?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I think over. We can close.
Yeah, I think today it's a bit interactive, so I'm happy. Yeah.
Actually, we have plenty of things in the slides. We put lot of exercises to do. In case if I
Yeah.
start explaining everything, 1.5 hours is not enough.
Yeah, I know,
Sure.
I know.
So
Yeah.
that's why actually I made it slides like that because they have to do some homework.
Yes,
after
yes,
the class.
yes.
That's why I put lot of exercises. If they
Yeah.
clearly follow all slides, they'll be in good
Yeah, they'll get hands-on, right?
hands-on.
So
Yes.
they'll also get a lot of questions regarding that, how it's
Mm.
working and on. So
Mm.
yeah, that's very practical and it's
Yeah.
good session. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah,
next week.
thank
Bye
you
bye.
and see you next week. Bye.